Hey, what's going on? And welcome to today's 3x3. This is on how to interject energy in a meeting or a presentation. We'll go ahead and jump through this one. Rahul, I'll keep you here first. What is tip number one for them? 3 tips in 3 minutes. Go for it.
The first tip is to take the stage with more energy. What does that mean? It means that in the first 10 seconds, 15 seconds of your meeting, of your presentation, start at a little bit faster pace and with a little bit higher volume, coming in 5-10%. And I'm speaking especially to the folks in the room that you tend to come in either very monotone or very relaxed. And you need to capture everyone's energy in the very beginning and inject energy into the room. And you can do that very easily by starting. So when I start a class, I always say, I'm excited that all of you are here. I'm really glad. Thank you so much. And then I start with that energy immediately. And I can feel it from them that they go, oh, and they kind of wakes them up for a second. Now, of course, you don't want to do that the entire time. You can start calibrating down and start moving up and down a little bit too. But that's my very first tip. Take the stage with more energy than you think, especially the larger and larger the room is.
Awesome. Thanks, Rahul. That's the first tip. Take the room with more energy. Peter, tip number 2.
My tip is use the space. So you can use the space in 2 ways. One is proximity. Every once in a while, get closer to your audience, get back, get close, get back. Even in a virtual setting, this would work. Just getting closer adds more intensity, more energy. Getting back releases some of that tension. Second thing is use the space around you, like use your hands, use your gestures. Now, I know some of you might not be comfortable with big gestures. How about start smaller? And then you see the effect, and then you build on that, maybe bigger gestures. And also, when you're using gestures, you don't want to be like gestures like this. That doesn't add any energy, right? So you want to use sharp gestures. The sharper, the better. However, also calibrate, because you don't want to be like jabbing at them. Nice, right?
So you don't want to jab your people.
Sharper gestures. Yeah, you don't want to jab their eyes.
No. Thanks, Peter. All right, moving on to the final tip here. I'll have both of you in for this one. Rahul, take it away. First part of our 3rd tip.
The last tip is to reference others. So this means that when you're to inject, so we just give you tips on, okay, how you can increase your pacing, how you can do gestures and use the space more effectively. Now here's where you include other people. So I might say, hey, Chaz, I remember last week when you mentioned blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden I've injected some energy into the room. You're paying attention. You know that I've called on you. Or I could say, hey, Peter, or I could refer to the whole team, the engineering team or this team over here. And that brings and builds rapport and brings everyone together as well, and a great way to use that injection of energy.
Thanks, Rahul. Peter.
Awesome, Rahul. Awesome. That's great tip of referencing the audience. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, like, okay, maybe I'm a low energy person. It's not natural for me to bring high energy. The best thing you can do is work it out like a muscle. For example, if your baseline energy is here, you want to get to here. And the way to do it is in private, you have to practice stretching your energy. For example, one of my clients, an engineering VP, he used to come in like with this kind of energy, timid, slow, very nice guy, very smart, very accomplished. However, in order for him to increase his energy in private, we would do exercises like this. I would have him say, Peter, I'm so excited you're here. And I would do the same. I'd be like, X, I'm so excited you're here. And we'd just go back and forth until it became natural for him. And then all of a sudden, his energy baseline started to climb up.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you, Peter. All right. Well, there it is. Today's 3x3 on how to interject energy in a meeting or presentation. Join us next week. Hope you got a lot out of today. See you around.